All right, so welcome to day two of the NBA playoffs. I'm Ace Boogie with my co-host Jamie. I told you guys I was gonna get a co-host. We haven't named the show, so if you have any thoughts on what the show should be called, we're still figuring that out. But if you have any suggestions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. But I had to bring Jamie on because we have a mutual friend in Javen. We become friends as well, and I've always admired his basketball knowledge. This is a guy that had played at different levels of the game. I never played at the levels that he's played on. We both happen to be Mamba fans and Lakers fans, and we just really love the game of basketball. And it's like, I really appreciate his knowledge. I hope you guys appreciate the back and forth and the takes that we're getting, knowing that they're not going to come from a biased standpoint. It's all going to be based on who can hoop, what they can do. So with that being said, we're following up from yesterday. So there were a lot of good games, notably yesterday. I think some that really stuck out to me, I think, was the first game when you're talking about the Jazz and the Nuggets. I mean, that was a very, very close game. Jamie, what were your thoughts on that game in particular?
Well, it's that playoff atmosphere, man. It's like, everybody's, gearing up. They played all the, seeding games. All you can do now is just, try the first one to four, move on to the next round. Donovan Mitchell came out, did what he's supposed to do, 57 in overtime. That man Jamal Murray, man, he took over. He took over the fourth quarter and the overtime. So it was just a good game, man. Went into overtime. Little mistakes by Utah. They seemed like Utah should have won that game. I think everything started from when Donovan Mitchell got that 8-second backcourt.
Right.
Once that happened, Murray came down, hit a three, down by one, and now we back. They was up four with the ball. Wow. Jazz up four with the ball, and Donovan Mitchell got that 8-second clock. So you gotta. I mean, you can't have those mental lapses like that. Joker played good. Jokic, he played good. He's just slow roasting Gobert, man. It's disrespectful.
It was pretty nasty. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all in all, it's only one game, so Jazz can come back tomorrow and do what they're supposed to do, and it'll be 1-1. So nobody has no whole court advantage because of the bubble. So you ain't got to worry about that. So it's just we'll see how that works out going into game 2 for them.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head, man. 57 points from Donovan Mitchell. That was just outstanding, especially I was looking at some of the props before the game. They had 24, and I was like, that's easy money. Like, this is Donovan Mitchell with Michael Conley out, not being there. That's one of the guys that, has to be there for this game. But obviously, like with me and you both having sons, we know how important that is. So obviously that's what he needed to do. We're not saying that he needed to do differently, but that rose the stakes for the Jazz from day one. Like, it's like Michael Conley's out. We're going against, a stacked Nuggets team. And a guy that also picked it up for them, I think, on the Utah Jazz side, a guy who we're both familiar with, Jordan Clarkson, 18 off the bench.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Man, we already know that
it's
man
needed. It's needed because, Conley's, he's out the bubble, with his fam. And they lost Boban. I mean, not Boban, but the other small forward, Bogdanovic. They lost him. And that was a big loss. That was the one that somebody could stretch floor, guard, multiple positions. So they asked Joe Ingles to guard Jamal Murray, and it was not looking good for him yesterday. So Donovan Mitchell, he's going to have to average. He's going to average like 35, 40 every game. He's not. I hope they don't think he's going to average 57.
Right. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. He's got to average in that 35 to 40 range.
He's got to be in the 30s, and then he has to get some help. Jordan Clarkson, he can keep balling. They probably gonna need some more help from Ingles with some shooting. But other than that, it's gonna be tough. But I think they can probably get it done. That game yesterday was the game they could have stole. But they can come back today and see. Tomorrow and see what they can do with game 2.
Right. So we go from a very close game to just the next game, which was a blowout. The Nets and the Raptors. I mean, I really had this one. Obviously, like, I think when I did the show yesterday, I said that I think that the Raptors are going to sweep them.
There's nothing
And
they can do, man.
it's nothing. It's nothing they can do. I think that
Nothing
the
they can do.
Raptors are
It's
on a mission. What do you think? You think the Raptors are on a mission there?
I feel like the Raptors, they know who they are. They play hard. Nick Nurse, their coach, is like he's one of the best coaches in the league. He's always up for coach of the year.
Right.
He get those guys to play hard. And Kyle Lowry, everybody like to talk about him, but Kyle Lowry, he just knows how to play ball. He takes charges. He can shoot. He leads the team. And if he wins another championship this year, we're gonna say Kyle Lowry is gonna be in the Hall of Fame. It's gonna be kind of crazy to say that, but he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Two chips.
Yeah, you automatically in there.
Two chips. All those All-Stars.
Robert Horry got to be in there. Is Robert Horry in there?
But he wasn't. But Robert Horry has never been.
Wasn't an All-Star.
He wasn't never an All-Star, or he wasn't never the 1 or 2 option on his team. Kyle Lowry has been the number 1 or number 2 option on his team since he got to the Raptors, and even a little bit when he was with Houston. So it's I mean, the Hall of Fame, man. I mean, it's a lot of people in there that don't supposed to be in there, but they're in there. So I mean, he got 2 chips. And he's an all-star, and he made like a lot of. He done made some all-NBA teams.
Yeah,
they're gonna put him in there, man. It's crazy, but they're gonna put him in there. But anyway, the Nets don't have a chance, man. They don't have Kyrie, they don't have Durant, they don't have Dinwiddie. It's just, they play hard. They intern coach Jacques Vaughn got them playing hard, but it's nothing they can do, man. It's gonna be. It's gonna be Cancun. It's gonna be Cancun on 4, man. 3, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. They're gonna be out of there. They're gonna be out of there in 4 games, man. I don't see them winning any game. If they do, I think the Jazz. I'm sorry. I believe the Rockets. I believe the Raptors is they're just gonna take a game off. But I don't see it happening because they play so hard. Siakam, he's their leading scorer, and I just don't see the Nets winning at all.
Gotcha. So the next game was 76ers and the Celtics. I mean, I felt like this was a game ever since Ben Simmons was taken out of this. It kind of ruined the series in a sense for us. Like it's still going to be competitive basketball, which I think we saw that yesterday. But I think the Celtics just have too much firepower for the 76ers. So what are your thoughts on how the game went yesterday? Obviously, Embiid, he had a solid game. 26 points, 16 rebounds. That's actually very good. But I just feel like you got to drop 30. You got to drop 30.
You got to be 30 and 15, 35 and 15, because he's the only one, man. Like, everybody else is just like role players.
Right.
One kid on that team I do like though. It's Thibault.
Okay.
I like him. He knows he can play defense. He can shoot it a little bit. Because I think he'll be one of those players, he get in a situation where he might help a team get to the championship. But as of right now, they don't have Ben Simmons, and Embiid, man, he's out there by himself, but he has to dominate. Like he sometimes it doesn't look like he wants the ball.
Right.
Or he's demanding the ball. He got 26 and 16, but it just seemed like he just got there just because he was Joel Embiid. But he needs to let them know that no one on this other team can stop me.
So one thing that stuck out to me in this game, I think like when it comes down to the next best available players, you got Tobias Harris, a guy that kind of has flown under the radar, but he's a solid player. He only gave them 15. I think he needed to at least give them about 18.
Oh yeah. He got to do way better. He got to
do way better. Josh Richardson, who they got from the Heat, I also liked him. He had 18, so I think that's a solid game for him. But I think the biggest thing that sticks out to me, just looking at this box score, how is Al Horford going to end that game with 6 points? 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. I like the 6 assists, but you got to score double digits, bro. Like
you can't play them because the Celtics go small. So if you have Tatum at the 4, or you have another small forward that's really supposed to be a power forward, but they're playing at the power forward position.
That's true.
You can't play Joel Embiid and Al Horford at the same time. You just can't do it. So Al Horford would help somebody if they're playing like, say, the Bucks or they playing another big team like some of those teams out west. But in a series like this, Al Horford, he's going to be like a 20 to 25 minute guy, if that,
Right.
because
he played
just
31. He played
31 minutes, but it's like it was sparingly. And then the only reason he played that many minutes is because Joel Embiid was getting kind of tired, and I think he was in a little bit of foul trouble. But you seen who ended the game. That small lineup with Joel Embiid at the center.
Yeah, nah, that's real. That's real. I guess we can get Horford off the hook because you did make a great point there with them playing small ball. You know, he has to get more than 6 points though. Right.
but he got to pick and choose. He got to do maybe some of that dirty work that he hasn't been doing doing in a while. And I know with this particular type of situation, I mean, in the beginning of the year, he was talking about how this is a different experience for him. He didn't know exactly that it was going to be like this, but I mean, you signed that big contract. You got to do it. You got to do some. You got to do some stuff, man. You got to get it done.
Yeah. We need. And I'm not an Al Horford hater or anything, but we need a different experience other than 6 points, bro.
Absolutely,
that's not happening. But I think that brings us to the biggest, and people are still talking about this right now. The last matchup, the Clippers versus the Mavericks. I'm gonna just let you speak on this. What were your thoughts on the game? Obviously, the craziness that transpired with Porzingis getting ejected. Like
no way he should have been ejected.
Right.
No way he should have been ejected, man. As a ref, you gotta be able. I know you did what you were supposed to do by the rule book, but you gotta let. I mean, it wasn't like they was finna start fighting or whatever. They just were having it, he's sticking up for his teammate, man. I'm gonna stick up for my teammate if something go down like that. I'm be like, hey man, you're not gonna do my boy like that, whatever. But you knew that he had another tech. Like, at least try to have him like walk that way. And if he goes back in charge, then okay, hey, like, bro, you gotta go. Like, you can't be doing. But because it's the letter of the law, they saying, oh, we gotta kick him out. But I'm like, come on, man, you didn't have to do that. Luka, I felt like Luka played a good game. Those 11 turnovers is not good at all. He can't have 11 turnovers. He had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. So the Clippers beat him up a little bit. He withstood it, but he cannot have 11 turnovers. But at 42 points in a day, you get playoff debut. You can't poo-poo that either. So the Clippers, they did what they were supposed to do. They got their first win. I still don't like how Lou look. Feel like Lou, he's still getting back into his groove. Trez, he played a few minutes tonight, so they trying to get him back, but that's gonna be one of the two, man. That's gonna be in the conference final, I think. So they did what they were supposed to do the first night.
Yeah, I think for that call to be made, I think it just really transformed the point of that game. Because to me, it seemed like the Mavs had the momentum, and I believe they were up by like 6 points or something like that. And then that happens, and it just changes the trajectory of the game. And for me, I knew that I felt like this series potentially, if the Mavericks had a better supporting cast, I think this goes 7 to the point that they possibly win. And that sounds crazy to say it because everyone was hype on the Clippers. But the biggest key for those guys is the fact that you got Kristaps Porzingis, a 7-footer, who I don't care who you got to guard him, PG or Kawhi, he's 7 foot. He's shooting over both of those guys, and those guys are some of the best defenders in the NBA. But you got that guy, and then you got Luka, who's been on fire, that I've been telling people for the longest. Luka is a problem. Like I've never seen anyone like shut him down. So you got your work cut out for you. And I think before we got into the bubble, the issue with the Mavericks, from what I saw from afar, was that Kristaps wasn't putting it together. Well, once they came into the bubble, Kristaps was on fire. Like, he was dropping 30 and stuff like that. And I think some people forget how good he was. And I just thought, like, just from a matchup perspective, that's going to be two guys that are going to be hard to game plan against, match up with. Those are two, like, incredible guys. So it sucked because I caught myself, like, looking at the game, and I'm like, okay, now Clippers taking off on them. Okay, now it's tightening up. Oh, now the Mavs just took the lead and Luka dropping back and hitting like these dagger threes on people.
Yeah.
And then it's like right when that happens, it's like then the foul happens. And it's like
they probably could have stole game one.
They probably could have stole game one. Like I really feel like they could have stole that one.
They were up 71-66 when he was ejected.
Right.
He's a difference maker, man. He's a difference maker, but I just don't think the Mavs gonna have enough to withstand that onslaught of the Clippers. I just don't think they have enough. And then Luka, he's still he's not good on defense at all.
Right. No, that's
so
facts.
you gotta factor that in. The only rim protector they do have is Porzingis, and then when you take him out, it's like you go into the basket like free. So that Clippers took advantage of that, which they supposed to do. But we'll see what the Mavs do in game 2.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I think I had it as Clips in 6, but man, if that game would have went down, I might have said this might be going 7. This might be going 7, but I think
it might get to 6. It might get to 6. It might stay at 5, just depending on how the series go. But if they would have stole game 1, maybe 7 is in the works. But
but yeah, with them not doing it. Yeah.
Lace them up for game 2, man.
So that brings us to today, and we're going to talk about the games that are on tap for today. So obviously we got 4 of them. So I'll start with Orlando and Milwaukee. And my take on this game is I love the Magic's team. They don't have anywhere near the horses to compete with the Bucks. And they also are really their lineup is essentially ravaged because some of their best players, when you talk about Aaron Gordon, you talk about Jonathan Isaac, some people that aren't too familiar with the Magic, Michael Carter Williams, he's a good guy off the bench. He's been one of their dependable reserves. All of those guys are struggling with injuries right now. So, even if those guys were healthy, this would be a tall order. Those guys are not healthy. We still have to see if Aaron Gordon is going to play today. Obviously, you got Vooch there. But we're talking about one of the teams that has looked like the most efficient team in the NBA, has been able to beat some of the best teams in the NBA in the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think, honestly, I was looking and I looked at my broom yesterday for the Nets series. This might be I'm in Orlando. I ain't trying to violate y'all, but I think it's a sweep, bro. I think it's a sweep.
Orlando, Florida knows. Florida knows. Orlando Magic knows. Everybody that mess with Orlando know this is a sweep, my guy. Okay, I'm sorry. It's nobody on the team. Everybody's gone, man. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, man. 1, 2, 3 Bahamas, man. 1, 2, 3 Bahamas.
So that brings us to the next
1, 2, 3 Bahamas. I like the match. I like the pieces the Magic got, but if you just got Vucevic and DJ Augustine, it's nothing that you're gonna be able to do, man.
It's nothing that they can do. There's nothing they can do for him.
Nobody's guarding Giannis. Nobody's probably gonna be able to stay in front of Bledsoe.
Even Middleton might get off. That's what's nasty.
Middleton probably gonna get off, but Bledsoe going forward, Bledsoe is definitely gonna be their X factor. If he does not perform, the Bucks may be going home before the finals. That's my prediction.
Okay.
If he doesn't play. If he doesn't play up into his potential and get in that paint, they might be going home, man. Because Giannis ain't gonna be able to do it just by itself. You got Giannis, Middleton that's gonna be over 20. You gotta have that third player. Bledsoe gotta be that third person.
He gotta be 17 or better. He gotta get him 17 or better each game. Yeah. If we can
get his 2 or 3 steals, he gotta pester on defense. So we'll see.
Bledsoe is always Orlando. that guy that you forget that he's on the team, and he's very good. He's very good, but sometimes you forget. You just automatically go to Middleton and you forget that they have Eric Bledsoe. But
they used to call him Baby Bron, man, when he first came in the league, man, because he was so explosive.
Sir.
So, but yeah, Orlando Bucks, come on, man.
Orlando,
come on, man.
Bahamas on 3. So that brings
Bahamas on 3, man.
That brings us to the next one. I think this is somewhat a juicy matchup. Obviously, we got to see. From what I'm seeing right now, it's a lot of game time decisions that might just be, that might just be something there. I mean, I think these guys might play, but that brings us to the Miami Heat versus the Indiana Pacers. And this is one. I mean, I feel like this is a retro rivalry because these teams have always clashed in the past. And they really don't like each other, and it brings out the Jimmy Butler versus TJ Warren, spectacle we've had going on the grand stage now. So I really want to put this in your court to see what you think about this matchup. I'm really interested to hear what you think is the prediction for this one, because I think I know where I'm going with this one, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this, Jamie.
I think that it will be the Heat in 6, and the reason why is because Indiana is losing. I mean, it has lost their best player, which is Sabonis. To me, Sabonis played good the whole year. Like he was phenomenal. He was an all-star this year, coupled with Victor Oladipo that was just coming back. But I feel like the firepower that Miami has, they can go 10 deep, and their 10 deep is legit 10 deep. Like they can plug and play with any of their players they have, and they'll be okay. They might even be a sleeper to get to the the finals if you're not careful. But I feel like the Heat are playing 6. The Indiana still has a good team. They still got Malcolm Brogdon over there. TJ Warren, he's been playing good in the bubble. But I feel like Jimmy Butler's experience, and he knows he has guys that are dogs over there. Bam is out of his mind this year. He's been playing pretty good. So I got the Heat in 6, and I don't think Indiana can match up well with them. If they had Sabonis, it probably could go 7. But if you got too much Turner out there doing what he does, you're not gonna win. So
nah. For me, I'm gonna say this: 7. I think this going 7. And I'm gonna say I think the Heat take it. But I think this is going to be a Game 7 first round. And I really when I look at these matchups, I really think that these teams on paper really match up well against each other. Like it's really hard when you see Goran Dragic, you got Brogdon who slept on, you got Robinson at the 2 for the Heat, you got Aaron Holiday, Drew Holiday's brother. He's a sniper. You got Jimmy Butler. But then you got Victor Oladipo, who was playing out of his mind before he got injured. And those are your 2 stars. So they're going against each other. Then you got Jay Crowder. And then you got TJ Warren, who's been hot since
been in
this
the bubble
started.
Playing his behind off now. He's been doing that. I give him that. He's been playing, man.
He's been playing. But, like you said, Bam has just taken his game to a whole nother level this year. But then the Pacers also have Miles Turner. He's no slouch. You got Sabonis off the bench. This is going to be a good matchup. I think of the early games that I'm seeing right here, like Orlando and Milwaukee, that's going to be a wash. Like they're going to be taking off on them. I think the playoffs really start at 4:00 today.
Right.
Yeah, they say that it's at 1:30, but the playoffs really start at 4:00.
That's just like yesterday, man. Like I was trying to watch that Nets and Raptors game. I said, Nah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut this off, man. This ain't gonna work. I'm wasting my time right now.
That's a waste of time, right?
Right.
So I see it the same way, like you said. I think the Heat take it. I think that, like I said, I think just the bad blood between these teams, everything going on. This is gonna be an intense one. I just hope that everyone is professionals about it. I think they will be, and I think by the end we still gonna have something to laugh.
I think it was just basketball to begin with, anyway. So
facts.
People get heated on the court. It's just the way it is. You won't.
Right.
You're not gonna take nothing off of nobody. But
right.
I got Heat in 6. You got Heat in 7. So
yes, sir. Now this man, these next couple matchups, bruh, these some hard matchups coming up. So the next one we have is OKC against the Houston Rockets. This is another one I was looking forward to because you got Chris Paul playing his old team and the beat that he had with James Harden, and then you got Russell Westbrook going against his old team. He ain't really got beef with anybody, but it's still his old team.
Hey, man, you always want to beat your old team, man.
And he's currently out with the he's inactive right now with the quad injury.
He's probably gonna be. They're saying he's probably gonna be out 2 games at least 2 games. You never know with those quads. Like all you could do with quads, man. Quads and Achilles. All you can do with those is rest. You can't do nothing with them. If they tear, if something happens to them, like sprain or anything, all you can do is rest. You really can't do anything else with it. But go ahead.
So I'm gonna give my prediction first, and then I'll let you go ahead and give yours. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are a criminally underrated team. They've been very good this year with my man CP3. That's like my favorite point guard of all time. He's not the man that he was, but he's still capable. He's very capable.
Nobody, I'm telling you now, if people thought OKC would be where they're at now,
they lied.
They're lying.
They're lying. The
reason why it's like that is because of CP3, man. It is. It's the reason why they're in the position they're in now to be trying to go to the second round, trying to, get to a next round of the playoff is because of that man. He just knows how to play. He's always going to be the most controlled person on the floor. It's crazy that he's never been out of the second round in his career. That's going to be a hindrance on him when it's all said and done. But
damn, man, we really gonna have to say Kyle Lowry is a Hall of Famer before Chris Paul.
No. Chris Paul gonna be a Hall of Famer. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. It's just that if Kyle Lowry didn't have no rings, it wouldn't even be a discussion. It wouldn't be a discussion. But if you done won a wing last year and then you win another wing this year, because it's possible for them to get back to the finals. Right. And they probably not gonna win it, but it's possible they get back to the finals. If that happens, just the way these experts think, man.
Right. I'm with you. So I think the other key notable piece that I think some people might be sleep on, and you might not have heard about this guy, but he actually was a big piece that the Clippers traded away in the Paul George deal was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Look this man up. If you never heard of him, look at him. He's the second reason why the Thunder are where they are right now.
He can go.
And I'm not sure if who's the other point guard that they have? Is he still the dude that used to play for the Hawks?
Dennis Schroeder.
Is he still there or is he hurt?
He's there, but I think he's either hurt or something's going on with him. He might not play that much. But they said he is. I think he is active though. I think he is active.
Okay, cool. So you got those guys.
I don't think he's been playing really in the bowl at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him, and he's a guy that I like to watch as well. But then you also got the Italian assassin, Danilo Gallinari. You got Steven Adams. So it's a solid team. And I think where I'm coming from with this one is accounting for Russell Westbrook to be out those 2 games with that quad injury. I think that's going to be major, bro.
Okay, and so that's why that first game they can steal those games, man. If they're not careful.
That's why I'm thinking 7. I'm thinking 7. I'm thinking Rockets in 7.
If Houston is off, man, it might get ugly. But I mean, OKC, the only thing they can do if they're able to play Steven Adams a lot with that small lineup, that's going to help them a lot. But if the Rockets catch fire, man, there's nothing they're going to be able to do. They catch fire because they putting them up. They're going to put them up. They're putting them up. So more than likely, I feel like the Rockets, it might go 6 or 7 Rockets way. I still feel like the Rockets are going to win the series, but I would not be surprised if Chris Paul pull a rabbit out of his hat and they go into the second round because losing Westbrook puts pressure on the defense every time he gets the ball. And he opens up those lanes for those shooters that's standing over in that corner like a PJ Tucker or a Daniel House. Or when Austin Rivers comes in, he puts pressure on the defense. So then we already know what James Harden does. So missing him the first 2 games is going to be crucial. But I feel like in the end, they'll definitely be okay.
Right. So I know that we got to get out of here in a second, but we can't get out without going through this last one.
Come on, man.
Portland, LA.
Come on,
man. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Lake Show. All I'm gonna say is Lake Show in 6, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get into it, but I'm gonna go with Lake Show in 6. What you got?
I feel like that's a good pick. Lake Show in 6. It could be 5 if if LeBron and AD just go ridiculous. The only question I have with my Lakers is Kuzma has to play, because if Kuzma doesn't play good, it might go 7.
Right.
And
That's facts.
and after that, we don't know if Waiters, JR, Quinn Cook, Caruso, we don't know if those guys are going to come to play. It could be a different person every night. Well, man, you know what? One game, it might be Quinn Cook out there ending the game. And then
Right.
Bron's looking to him to make the shot. But all in all, Portland don't have nobody that can guard AD. Portland don't have anybody that can guard LeBron. Now on Portland's end, Dame has been ridiculous in the bubble, man. Dame has been. I've been watching these games like, bro, he's doing some AI type stuff with these points he's going on, man. Like 61 one night, 51 one night, 42. He one of the games in the bubble, he had 30 points and 16 assists. So
Right.
then you got CJ. CJ, hey, I know they say he got a bad back, but he's been playing good. He's been locking up. He made one good lockup with the Nets. That was a crucial win for them going into the AFC. And then they played good against Memphis. But I don't think Portland is going to be able to win because they don't have anybody that's going to be able to guard LeBron. And if AD says, I'm the best person on the court tonight, it's nothing that you're going to be able to do with me. I'm going to score every time I want to unless y'all bring a double team. It's going to be a long night for them. But the Lakers have to shoot. They have to shoot better. They definitely have to shoot better, and they have to play defense.
No, I agree with that. I think the Blazers have to get better on defense as well, because a lot of people have talked about their defense as well. But yeah, I agree with you. I think this series can potentially go 7. Don't get it twisted. Like if the Lakers don't handle business, if they continue to play like Jamie was saying, they play past that stretch, is going to be a difficult one for them, and that could tire them out for other rounds, because the rest of the way is not a pancake schedule by any means, with the potential matchups that they could have en route to the finals. So that's going to wrap it up for today's show. I hope you guys appreciate it, hearing our takes and everything. We'll be back in. I think we said we might do some end of the week recaps, but stay tuned.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. We appreciate y'all, tuning in today.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we out.